I'm honored and happy to welcome from Canada to UAE our esteemed delegates from Carleton University and Sprott Business School, Dr. Dana Brown, the Dean of Sprott Business School, Carleton University, and Mr. Harry Sharma, the Director of Innovation Hub, Carleton University. Thanks for your presence, Mr. Gladwin Victor, the Head of Academics at Brits Imperial University College, Sharjah, UAE. Brits Imperial University College, in association with Carleton University, has brought Innovation Hub to the land of UAE in order to foster and support startup ecosystem in the Middle East region and also support startups from Canada who would want to explore Middle East as a market. Very large organizations claim that innovation and growth is critical to their DNA, yet most of them are criticized because they do not have disruptive ideas or have slow decision-making process. While many large companies struggle to get ahead, we are seeing a surge of entrepreneurial spirit and significant startup activity in industries, and they are giving fierce competition to a lot of mature corporations as well. The question today is, how do large companies keep up with innovation, give pace to startup ideas, and how do they replicate the same creativity and rapid success within their organizations? The question today is, how do we leverage the power of transnational education and bring it to innovation and startup education and the startup ecosystem? How do we marry transnational education with innovation and incubation of startups? Welcome to this panel discussion and talk show, and we move on to the discussion ahead. My first question goes to Dr. Dana. Can you tell us a bit more about Carleton University and Sprott Business School? We understand that there are many large universities and colleges in Canada, but what is it that makes Carleton University and Sprott Business School stand out in Canada?
Thank you for the question. Carleton University was founded in 1942 at a moment of significant transformation for society as the Second World War was ending and our soldiers were returning from war. So Carleton's founding is really in having a social impact through education, transforming our economy, transforming our society and our polity. And we've really lived that vision throughout as we've grown into a globally recognized university. We're based in the capital city of Canada, which is a dynamic space for government, for global institutions, and for businesses from all around the world. Carleton is unique both in its mission, in its location and the opportunities that we provide for our students, and also in the setting in which our education takes place. We're located on a beautiful enclosed campus, and we're able to provide our students with a lot of support as they embark upon one of the most significant moments in their life, their education.
Awesome. Mr. Harry, as the Director of the Innovation Hub at Carleton University, the man behind the success of so many startups being incubated there, can you tell us more about how Innovation Hub makes it possible for these startups to succeed in Canada and how it goes in sync with the philosophy and ethos of Carleton University in general?
Thank you so much, Nirmal, for the question. And while I take full pride in being able to support Canadian entrepreneurs in their journey of innovation and their venture growth, but I do not see myself as being the man behind it. I'm merely one of many stakeholders that make it possible. So thank you for giving me the honor of the title, but I do want to convey that the startup ecosystem, whether it's local, regional, national, or international, is very much like a biological ecosystem. There are players, there are entities within that ecosystem that have very distinct and very critical roles to play. So where university-based innovation hubs come into play in that ecosystem is where we actually come in and foster a new mindset, a mindset of creativity, a mindset of being solutions oriented, providing those skills and competencies through experiential based learning opportunities for our students, where they actually see the world that they want to see, not just the world that they live in today, right? So to Dana's point earlier about how do we make a community that works for everybody, a community that's sustainable, a community that can handle not only its own challenges, but also be a force for good across the world. And that's where the Innovation Hub, and that's where the Sprott School of Business actually comes into play, with access to over not only just the 2,500 students at Sprott, but we also have students from other faculties, Nirmal, such as engineering and science and arts and social sciences, public affairs. So through the Innovation Hub and through Dean Brown's initiatives, we've been able to bring all of those ideas together, all of those talented students together, and get them to ideate first, right? So what are some of the types of changes would you like to see happen in the world around you? Once they've gone through that exercise, once they're able to articulate, build self-confidence through doing things, not just through lecture-based workshops, then they move into what we call the incubation phase. That's where whatever ideas they may have developed in the first phase, they actually now put those into action, right? So you ideate, then you put those ideas into action, and then you actually turn those the actions into implementations, right? So that's where you grow the adopted base of your ideas. That's where you have new consumers, new customers, new partners, new communities who are now starting to see the benefits of the actions and the ideas that you've generated. So the Innovation Hub is one of many other critical players in the ecosystem that we have in Canada. Dana, did I capture everything?
I think so. I think so.
Well, that's a wonderful journey, for Carleton University, and you all being a part of Sprott Business School and Carleton University.
Yeah.
So I think what both of you all have said, it truly resonates that Carleton University is for the community, for the society, for the students. Right from its origination and inception since the 1940s to coming to these times where startup and innovation is a buzzword. So constantly serving the community. You also brought up the Innovation Hub, not just to support employability quotient, but also the self-employability aspirations amongst the students. Now, Dr. Dana, as the Dean of Sprott Business School at Carleton University, you spent illustrious years of service there in your position and have been instrumental in bringing the business school up. But standing today, what are the areas of your focus as the leader of this business school in developing the institution and the students both?
Yeah, thank you. Well, obviously this is a really unique moment in history. We're returning to our places of work, returning to our places of education after a quite traumatic event in world history. So I see this as, again, a very transformative moment in human society. So our focus really is on preparing our students for this world and helping our students to really see what are the needs in this society, what are the opportunities, and to empower them to be the creators of what's next in the world. There have been a lot of negative aspects of what's happened over the past 2 years, but we need the next generation of leaders to really see the opportunity and to understand what has come before and what is the world around us needing at this moment. How can we create something positive for the future out of what we've just come out of? So that's really our focus right now. Our focus is on the individual student, but it's also about that individual student's place in the world.
What are the key ethos of Sprott Business School, and how would you leverage those ethos in inviting and helping international students come over to Sprott Business School in Canada and make a successful career there?
Well, the key ethos of our business school really is inclusion. We believe that in order to have the impact on the world that we want to have, we need to create educational opportunities that are bringing together voices from diverse experiences, perspectives, and ideas. So the global aspect of our education, our openness and welcoming to students from all over the world is a really core aspect of that ethos. And when we organize our education in such a way that we ensure that all students, no matter how they're looking at a problem or thinking about a problem, they have a place at the table. They have a voice. So our education isn't about wise professors standing in front of our students imparting knowledge about how to build this world. Our education is about empowering young people, creative minds from all over the world to think it through, because there is no textbook that tells us how to create this world, how to solve the major challenges that we're facing today. There is no pathway it hasn't been forged yet, the path to the future. So we need all of these voices to come together, and that's core to our ethos of wanting to have impact, of wanting to be inclusive, and it's core to innovation.
Yeah.
Right.
Multicultural diaspora and attracting talent from across the globe is the key to the innovation and startup ecosystem. Great to know about that, Dr. Dana. Mr. Harry, over to you now. I've also been told that Carleton University's Innovation Hub is working very closely with Brits Imperial University College in developing programs for executive professionals, helping them upskill, helping them continue their professional development, and also helping them get a flavor and an understanding of the market in Canada by also being able, by also giving them the opportunity to be able to travel all the way to Carleton University's Innovation Hub, see the industry ecosystem over there, take experiences over there. Now, all this I've been told. I want to hear it from the horse's mouth. So how do you look at it? What are the programs you have in mind for executive professionals?
Absolutely. Happy to give more details on that. So as I was describing earlier, I mean, the Innovation Hub is really an ecosystem, right? So we have partners at Carleton, especially the Future Edge talent ecosystem that we've created, which is specifically tailored to support the ongoing career resiliency for professionals. So while we fully recognize the importance of entrepreneurship and we're there to support new idea generations and venture creation and growth with global impact, but we also recognize that there are working professionals who've already chosen their area of professional growth that they would like to follow, and that's where we partner with the Future Edge talent ecosystem at Carleton to provide senior leadership training in areas such as sustainability, such as cybersecurity, such as 5G deployment, such as Internet of Things, such as climate change and adaptation. We've also brought partnerships with other Canadian stakeholders such as EcoCanada, which is EcoCanada, which is a leader in climate change adaptation, not for just Canadian communities, but also communities around the world. So through our partnership with the likes of EcoCanada, Future Edge talent ecosystem at Carleton, and the Innovation Hub, we hope to bring all of those experiences and all of those career resiliency opportunities for working professionals in Dubai and in the MENA region. So, for example, one specific example of a global leadership program that we're bringing is a 3-month program that would be run in partnership with Brits Imperial, which would have components of asynchronous learning for participants. But then we would couple that with 1 week exposure to the Canadian ecosystem, where participants will come to Canada, will come to Ottawa, and they'll take some workshops in person, get to network with professionals and corporations in Canada, and more importantly, they'll get to visit some of Canada's historic but also world-leading sites that we have in the areas of technology and human rights and sustainability. So we are really proud to be bringing that offering through Brits Imperial to the UAE and the MENA region.
Mr. Gladwin, at Brits Imperial University College and the other campuses of your group institution, you have hundreds, probably if not thousands of students studying with you across various countries. How do you think will this Innovation Hub program, and also for the working professionals who are the students of your institutions for executive MBA programs, how do you think that what Dr. Diana and Mr. Harry has just recently spoken about for innovation programs that you're going to run in partnership with them, and also the programs for the working professionals, how do you think this is going to benefit the students? Any particular ideas or thoughts on that?
Well, I feel this program will come as a complete benefit package to students, especially the upcoming generation, because according to the recent studies, it says that jobs 10 years down the line are something which is not presently available. So having said that, it would require students to having the ability to adapt themselves to skills that is required, and not only having skills that is required, but also having business models which are probably not available today. So with all these possibilities, and Dubai and UAE being a part of that world which is always open to innovation, always open to having new ventures established, and the kind of support that the UAE government extends to the innovation and new age technologies, I think this program will have a lot of potential in UAE and the Middle East part of the region. And in terms of the students that are with us, whether it is a regular student, whether it's an executive MBA student, this program will definitely upskill them for future roles, for giving them the confidence to step into any segment, any industry that they are currently in, whether it's in banking sector, whether it is any engineering, manufacturing sector, logistics, supply chain, whichever sector it could be. This is something that becomes a plug and play for them. They would be working in an existing sector, but having done this program will give them the leverage of having the certainty to face the future. So I feel this program will definitely come as a handy skill that everybody should have coming future.
Awesome. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies, for coming to our show, and thank you, audience, for giving it a patient ear and understanding more about the possibilities in the world of startup ecosystem, and for executive professionals to continue their development and learning and upskilling. It was a wonderful session, insightful ideas and insightful thoughts you all have shared, and a lot of food for me to take back home and ponder over. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Nirmal. Okay.
Thank you.